Lauren Nicely, affectionately known by her family and friends as Lo, is a professional makeup artist, beauty and lifestyle influencer, friend, teacher, woman of faith, and her newest titles are esthetician and skincare professional. Check out our talk about her journey to and through entrepreneurship and explore with us how faith, friendship, and culture play a part in our careers. If you're an aspiring beauty professional, especially from the Caribbean American community, keep watching for some tips on how to find your path and follow your purpose from my friend and fellow superwoman, Lo Nicely. I am really excited about this one today. You guys know her as a makeup artist, but I know her as one of my longest friends and sisters. And so I'm really excited to talk today to the Lo Nicely. That's what the people know her as, but I know her as Lauren. And I really value this conversation because we've been on a journey of entrepreneurship together. And entrepreneurship as creatives, which is not necessarily typical from the upbringing that we come from, but we'll get into that. So firstly, I would love if you can tell people kind of talk about your journey to becoming a makeup artist and then how you've gotten now to getting into skincare.
Okay, well, hey everybody. So as you know, Tam, I took a liking for makeup in 2008 when my prom artist failed to show up for prom, which is like a high schooler's wedding day. So I was like sitting on my bed waiting for her to come, and till this day, she never came. So
we're still waiting on you.
Still waiting. Never heard from you. But so I went to prom and I saw everybody else's makeup and I was like, dang, everybody is beat, but like I'm not beat like that. So I want to like know how they did their makeup like that. So the next day I did my makeup. I really liked it. I got on YouTube. I started watching videos to try to figure out how can I do my makeup like them? Like how can I get my makeup to look flawless like that? So I took all my graduation money. I bought some kits and palettes and pencils and powders. And I just started to play in makeup until before you knew it, I was teaching classes out of my living room. And one of my friends asked me to do her wedding makeup, Miche, and I was like, girl, no, I don't got no kid. I can't do multiple people. I didn't have a choice, and she forced me to do it. I did it. And, people kept asking, hey, can you show me how to do eyebrows? Oh, you might as well do makeup. Can you do my makeup? Until it became a business. And here I am in 2020, years later, a full-time makeup artist, entrepreneur, and esthetician. Now, I always was fascinated by pimple popping, extractions,
So true.
waxing, applying this creamy product to the skin and watching it rip all the hair off. Like I was fascinated by that. And I always wanted to go to cosmetology school or esthetician school, but my dad was like, no, you're going to college. There ain't no money in that. I don't know what that is. You got to go to college. So I kind of just put that to the back of my mind. Like, I'll do it one day whenever I can afford it. I'll get to it. I went to school and got my degree. However, I was doing makeup on the side in college. I was doing an aftercare job working with children, but makeup kind of consumed my life. Unfortunately, my brother passed in 2011, and after he passed, I took off a semester of college.
Has it been that
and
long?
I did makeup. It's been that long. He passed in 2011.
In 10 years?
April 2011. Mm-hmm.
Holy smokes.
Remember,
sorry to interrupt you. That just landed on me, and I was like, did she say 2011? It's
Right.
2021.
Right.
I still remember it like it was yesterday, but please move on. Sorry.
So yeah, 2011, my brother passed, and I took a semester off. After he passed, I just needed some time to kind of like get my mind back together. And I was doing makeup on the side when I was out of school. So I kind of got a taste for entrepreneurship. I kind of got a feel for it. And I was like, yo, this is dope. Like, I want to do this. So I went back to school. I finished. I graduated. And I said, okay, I'm going to take a year. This was 2014, May 2014. I'm going to take a year until May 2015 to do this makeup thing full time, to give it my all and to see what happens. Okay? Here I am again. in 2021, still doing makeup. And God so happens to allow opportunity for me to go to aesthetic school to become a um, esthetician. And I can proudly say this time last year I was just enrolling or just started school to become an esthetician, and a year later I am a full-time makeup artist and esthetician sitting in my beautiful studio.
Yes. I love it. I guess I never really thought of your journey in a timeline like that, because we've just like, when you're on the journey, you don't really like think about it in a linear way like that. But it's really beautiful to think, I think 2008, and I'm like, that was 13 years ago.
Right, right.
Man, I remember all of this like it was yesterday. I remember. So, you mentioned your dad and his lack of belief or really understanding for how you could make this a career and a vocation. And one thing that's really special about both Lauren and I, and part of the reason we're friends, is that we are both first generation Americans. Um, and our parents are Caribbean. And so I think that's a mentality of like, you don't work hard to get to America to waste it on being an artist. You don't waste your golden ticket. We didn't work hard for that.
You must do better than me.
Yeah, pretty much. And it really speaks to this idea that sometimes people who even have your best interests at heart still don't know what's best for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm wondering how you were able to negotiate navigating entering a field where you're blazing a trail for your family, essentially, because nobody else isn't. I don't think anybody else is an artist, like a creative.
I mean, actually, my cousin, he's very artistic. He's a tattoo artist.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So John, he draws. So we got a little bit of art in the
Is
family.
anybody else doing it as a profession besides a tattoo artist?
Besides my cousin, who's a barber.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. So how was that transition? Was there a convincing that you had to do of your father, or?
So my dad, I would say he's kind of silent. He's quiet. He watches to see like, what's happening. And I think as long as I could show my dad that, I'm not just a bum. I'm not, just gonna sit around and not do anything and graduate and not do anything with my degree and just not do anything, period. I would say he kind of just sat and watched what I did, and he would ask questions. But I did have a sense of feeling that I needed to prove to him, that I can be successful. So over time, initially I was doing makeup out of my house before I got my studio back in 2016. And my father saw the amount of traffic that would come in and out the house. So he was kind of like, okay, well, she doing something, because it's a lot of people coming up and, coming through here. You might need to find your own space. But, he saw that. And with time, I kept growing. At that time, I probably got to like 10K on Instagram, and I was growing my social media. And every second I got, I was either going to, a makeup show or watching tutorials or trying to educate myself in some type of way until makeup started to take over my life, and I was traveling and teaching classes and doing all that kind of stuff. And my dad just kind of like, okay, she's doing something here. So we sat down and had a conversation, and he was kind of like, okay, so like, what do you do? Like, how does this work? Tell me about it. And I was like, okay, Dad, well, this is what I do. I teach. I've grown my social media to over 15,000 people. In my first year of makeup, I made
15,000. Joke now.
my first year being a solo entrepreneur with no type of guidance, not knowing what in the world I was doing. I opened the LLC, didn't even know what I was doing, but I was just trying to figure out how to do this thing and to make it, my passion, a career. And, once he saw that I was very serious about what I was doing, that I was really taking it serious and making it a profession, he started to kind of back off. Now, of course, he got curious about 401ks and retirement plans and stuff like that. So he started to show interest, what are you doing for your future? How are you saving money and things like that? But eventually he came around, and my mom and my dad, they really, I would say, supported me, even allowing me to do makeup in their house and host classes at their house and shoots and all that kind of stuff. They supported me by allowing me to do that.
Yeah, shout out to the first brow class at the dining
Okay.
room table. I was the model for that. Um, so if you were talking to, you know, a 16-year-old who realizes she has is passionate about something that's creative and doesn't necessarily have a clear cut path to success, who has parents who maybe they're first generation American too, and it's a thing, you know, like it's a thing to again not get the opportunity to come to a place like this and squander it, by struggling, by choosing to struggle. But the
Mhm.
reality is, without struggling, you can't figure it out. You can't figure out how it works. So what would you say to like a 15, 16-year-old girl who's kind of in that position that really wants to explore the creative side, but may have parents who are not necessarily understanding or even as supportive as yours were?
Mhm. So whatever that thing is that you're passionate about, I guess a 16-year-old is kind of still in high school, getting ready to graduate, probably going into their senior year. I would say, in addition to you being in school and getting all your work done, making sure that you focus and you finish school strong, to try to soak up as much information as you can about whatever that passion is that you want to do. Now, in these days, there's so much information out there on the internet. There's people who have courses and trainings and mentorship. Is everywhere, literally. So soak up as much information as you can about that thing. And when you graduate, if you're passionate about it, give it a try.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it. Go
Yeah.
after it and see where it takes you.
And another thing I heard you say was like you had receipts basically for your dad,
Oh,
and the receipts you
absolutely.
didn't have to work to show. You were able to just work, and he saw, like you said, he saw what was
He
happening.
saw the fruits
So
of my labor,
yeah.
literally. He saw
Yeah.
it.
So I think that part of that plays a role in it too, being able to not just like something and not
Right.
just want to do it, but being able to show how you can do it. Especially
Hmm.
because like our parents want us to be successful. So any of that criticism is really birthed out of a place of concern for wanting to you to be okay, especially once they can't take care of you anymore.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I think it's really important also to be able to like show where your receipts at.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
you
Be able
know?
to show, like, actually, I am doing quite fine making, doing these lash extensions, or I'm doing quite fine, producing, whatever it is that you're interested in, just be able to show them that, hey, like, these are the fruits of my labor. This is what I'm doing. These are the results that are coming in.
Yeah. So you talked about really just not knowing what you're doing, navigating it, figuring out as you go along. And so I wanted to talk about faith and friendship and how those things have functioned, because you and I talk we literally talked yesterday, last night, the day before, because we use each other as resources for blazing this trail that we're on. And like, I come from a musical family, although we're first generation, and a lot of the language around, a lot of the discourse around what are they going to do with music degrees came from outside people, came from people telling my parents, you know, like that's not a good, us going to college for music wasn't a wise choice. Um, and so you and I have had to kind of really rely on each other for a lot of our learning and stuff like that. And then also the Holy Spirit. I mean, if I'm just being honest. And so I guess I wanted you to talk a little bit about how those two things, and not just my friendship, but in general, you know, just whoever, how friendship and faith function for you in business.
Well, first of all, I'm so thankful for all my friends. And I would say family too, because my friends are kind of like my family as well. Um, Thank you for being my first models, for volunteering,
Yeah.
um, yourself, your face, other parts of your body. I'm so thankful. But I would say, like, having friends and my faith. My faith has truly was brought me this far. Without it, I wouldn't have made it. Marvin Sapp said never would have made it.
The songwriter said.
The songwriter says. But no, honestly, truly, I wouldn't have made it without my faith and having that foundation in God. Like, I truly wouldn't have made it. And without my friends, thankfully, I can honestly say all my friends are of faith. And, yeah, all of them are. So having them push me, having them to be able to give me wise counsel, having them to be able to pour into me when I have those moments of frustration, when I feel like I don't know what to do. What's next? I'm never going to be able to go to esthetician school. I don't know what to do. I'm about to find a job. Nobody will hire me. But my friends that say, you know what, Lo, you come too far. Like, God's going to make a way. Like, that encourage me. So I'm so grateful for that. And like I said, without that, I know for sure, like, I wouldn't have made it this far at
Yes.
all.
Yes, Lord. Never.
And I'm grateful that a lot of my friends either have a side hustle or are entrepreneurs. So I'm able to talk to my friends about different things that, you know, we face as entrepreneurs, that we go through as entrepreneurs. Literally, me and you talk on the phone 5 hours straight about entrepreneurship, about ideas, about making money, you know, all the time. So we're getting ready to go away, you know, to spend some time working on our passion projects and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm grateful to have that in friendship. You know, the business side and then the friend side, and it all comes together, as well as faith.
Yeah. So that brings me to my next question. This is all about our Superwoman campaign and celebrating the superpowers of women. So I wanted to ask you what your superpowers are. You can pick one if you want, or if you think of multiple, but like things that you feel like make you uniquely impactful to the world.
I would say my ability to just get stuff done. Like, if I put something in the air and I say this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. Like, whatever it, if it takes 5 years, whatever, I'm still going to do it. I'm going to get it done. You know what I'm saying? Um, if there was nothing that showed me that I do that before, of course I said, oh, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to graduate. I'm going to do this. But if it wasn't this, like legit, I said, one day I'm going to go to aesthetic school, period. One day I'm going to open up my studio. I'm going to be waxing. I'm going to be doing brows. I'm going to be doing facials. It's going to happen. And here it is, legit manifested. Here, like, it's here. I could touch it. I could see it. I could feel it. It's all coming together. So that ability to put my mind to something and to do it and to get it done.
Yeah.
Next.
And I would push that further from my experience observing you. You are really good at execution. So not just like dreaming up the plan, dreaming up the idea, but coming up with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is not my strong suit. I completely see the vision at the end, but like the backwards planning is not really my ministry. Mm-hmm. So I think that's such a valuable skill set to be able to not just like dream of something, but to then be able to put actionable steps towards achieving. It wasn't enough to say I wanted to be an esthetician. Like there had to be steps to get there outside of just going to esthetician school.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Esthetician school.
Esthetician.
Yes.
I can't.
So, last thing, is there anything you want to promote or people should be looking out for, or people can buy from you, any way they can support you, because we run coins over here?
Yes. Okay. So I'm getting ready to launch my website, and on my website, you can find skincare. If you need to get started on a regimen soon, I will be offering online consultations. So if you're having any type of issues with your skin, or if you just want a routine for your everyday, you know, every day, I'll be able to provide you with that. Like I said, I will be retailing skincare. And I do have a class coming up, so just be on the lookout for that. You can follow me over at IG. My Instagram is Lo Nicely. My website is lonicely.com. And on there, you can learn more about me and what I do.
Yes, you better keep the branding simple, okay?
Okay.
Lo Nicely on everywhere.
On everywhere, legit. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And my
TamaraJadeMusic. That's it. That's all. Yes, I love it. Thank you so much for chatting with me today. You guys go check her out and check out all the amazing things she's doing. She is one of my favorite superwomen on earth. Yes. And I'm so glad for us to be going into this next chapter of everything that's going on together.
Legit.
And yeah.